I'm writing this because I don't think I have much time left. If I don't make it through tonight, maybe someone will believe me. Or at least they'll know it wasn't just grief that drove me mad. It all started a week ago when I rented the cabin. I needed to get away. After Emily died, my wife, I couldn't stand the suffocating silence of our house. Her coffee mug still sat in the sink. Her books stacked on the nightstand. Everywhere I looked, I saw her absence. So, I packed a bag, found a cheap Airbnb in the mountains, and drove up with a single thought in my head. I needed to be alone. The cabin wasn't much. Just a squat little thing surrounded by trees that seemed to stretch endlessly in every direction. It smelled faintly of mildew when I walked in, but it was clean enough. There was a fireplace, a lumpy couch, and a small kitchen that looked like it hadn't been updated since the 80s. The bedroom was down a short hallway, past a single bathroom with one of those old-fashioned mirrors bolted to the wall above the sink. It wasn't glamorous, but it was quiet. That's all I wanted. The first night, I slept better than I had in months. The second night was when I noticed the mirror. I'd been chopping vegetables for dinner, letting my mind wander, when I realized I hadn't checked myself in a mirror since I'd arrived. It was such a weird thought, random, intrusive, but it lodged itself in my head. I wandered down the hallway to the bathroom and flicked on the light. At first, I didn't notice anything unusual. Just my reflection staring back at me. Hollow cheeks, bags under my eyes, and stubble I hadn't bothered to shave. But as I turned to leave, something made me stop. My reflection wasn't moving. I froze. My hand still on the door frame. My reflection just stood there, staring at me, its head tilted slightly to the side like it was studying me. The longer I looked, the more wrong it felt. Its eyes seemed a little too wide, the corners of its mouth twitching ever so slightly. I blinked. So did it. And suddenly, it was normal again. I stumbled back into the hallway, my heart pounding. I told myself it was just a trick of the light, that I was tired, that maybe my grief was finally messing with my head. I didn't go back to the bathroom that night. The next few days, things only got worse. I started avoiding mirrors entirely. I didn't even know why, just that every time I passed by one, I felt like something was watching me. That same weird crawling sensation at the back of my neck. But mirrors have a way of sneaking up on you. The window over the kitchen sink reflected just enough to catch a glimpse of myself when I washed my hands. The black screen on my phone, lying face up on the coffee table, would flash my face when I reached for it. And every time, I thought I saw something move, a flicker of motion that didn't quite match mine. It wasn't until the fifth night that I realized I wasn't imagining things. I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom trying to keep my eyes on the sink instead of the mirror, but as I turned off the faucet, I heard it. A soft tapping, like fingernails tapping against glass. I froze. The sound wasn't coming from the window, it was coming from the mirror. I looked up and my stomach dropped. My reflection was smiling. Not a normal smile, it was too wide, its teeth bared in a way that didn't match my face at all. Its head twitched just slightly and its eyes locked onto mine. Then it raised its hand and waved. I screamed and stumbled backward, knocking over the trash can. By the time I dared to look again, the reflection was normal. It was just me. But I knew what I'd seen. Last night, the thing in the mirror stopped pretending. I woke up around 3 a.m. to the sound of glass shattering. It took me a moment to realize it was coming from the bathroom. My first thought was that a tree branch had broken the window, but when I opened the door, the window was fine. The mirror, however, was cracked right down the middle. My reflection stood in the shards, fractured and wrong. It didn't move as I stared at it. Its face split into jagged fragments, but then one of the shards shifted. It moved as if something was crawling behind the glass. I backed out of the bathroom, slamming the door behind me, and grabbed my keys. I didn't care if it was the middle of the night. I was leaving. But as I ran to the front door, I stopped cold. The living room window was reflecting me. So was the TV, so was the glossy surface of the picture frame on the wall. Everywhere I turned, I saw myself staring back, and in every single reflection, I wasn't alone. There was something standing behind me. I've barricaded myself in the bedroom now, but it doesn't matter. The bedroom mirror is on the closet door, and I can hear it tapping. It's been tapping for hours. I don't know what it wants, but I'm too afraid to look. If anyone reads this, don't go near mirrors. Don't let them see you, because once they do, they won't stop. And if you ever see something move behind you, don't turn around. I looked. God help me, I looked. It's not in the mirror anymore. It's in the room.